Welcome to the Fantasy Football Prophet Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprophet.com. And now your hosts, Craig and Jeff.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Prophet Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey, and today we're going to get into our top 20 tight end rankings, see what we think here. I know already, I'll say off the top, me and Jeff don't agree on number one, and I figured that would happen because I'm kind of disappointed in it, actually. I don't know if I agree. We'll get into that in a minute. Before we do, make sure you guys go check us out on Twitter at the FF Prophet or Instagram, Fantasy Football Prophet. If you listened yesterday, you heard that our listener leagues are almost filled up. So if you want to get in to get a chance to win the belt provided by Pro-Am Belts, make sure you go give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Let us know that you did, and we'll get you into one of the leagues that is going to be drafting on August 19th now at 9 p.m. So we're getting closer and closer to that. And make sure you guys get that in. That league, it'll probably be filled up maybe by the time this even comes out. So if we have to make a new one, we'll make another one. We'll keep making more leagues, and me or Jeff will be in each of the leagues. So we'll play against one of them, sometimes both of us. I don't know. We might be co-managing the teams. And also, you go support us on Patreon if you would like. It's patreon.com/fantasyfootballprophet. You go check us out there. We got a bunch of different tier levels where you can help us out there and get some, other content from us, as well as go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/fantasyfootballprophet. We'll be having different videos and stuff coming out there, as well as, the normal podcast will be there too. All right. All that's over with. Ugh. It's hard to spit that all out, Jeff.
You're doing a nice job, buddy.
Yeah.
You're doing a nice job.
Let's do top 20 tight ends. Number one is a tie, as I said earlier. You can probably guess who the tie is between. Rob Gronkowski, Travis Kelce. Why Kelce over Gronk?
That will be the question, because I'm guessing that everyone else and their mother has Gronk number one. But I think that they are finally very, very close to one another. And the big difference for me, I think they're on the sime level. And Gronk scares me with his health a bit. Yeah. The last time he played a full season, I have to pull this up actually, but I think it was 2012, and it doesn't really matter too much to him in the past because he was so far ahead of everyone that he was still going to dominate, right? So yeah, I mean, he's been relatively healthy. He had huge health issues 2012, 13, and 16. Other than that, he hasn't missed more than 2 games, and any time he has missed that, he has been number one. So there's a whole lot of reason to put him number one. But Kelce ended number 2 last year. They were very close. It's obviously a tier right there.
Yep.
But I think Kelce is just in his prime, and I have less worries that he's going to get hurt.
I get that. I get it. I still think Gronk is Gronk, and if he's healthy, yeah, I guess that is the whole key to your argument. Is if Gronk can't stay healthy. Yeah. If he's healthy, I think he's the clear number one, especially without Edelman there for the first couple games. He's going to be just getting fed the ball even more, if that's possible.
True.
Brady has to throw the ball to somebody.
And it shows you, too. I mean, last year he was healthy for 14 games, and he was still number one, and he beat Kelce out by 7 points.
Yep.
But I don't know. At some point, you think that his body is obviously already slowing down. I think Brady will still be a very, very, very good quarterback, but you always wonder if that eventually will slow down as well. I don't know. I'm just going. I guess I'm just going with the up and comer this time around. I really think Kelce's the real deal. I don't think anyone's going to argue with me there. But yeah. This is the year that Gronk does not finish number one.
All right, number 3 is no surprise. Zach Ertz for both of us.
Yeah,
I was big on Zach Ertz last year, but I was, but I didn't. I should have ranked him higher. I didn't do what I should have there. I love Zach Ertz, but I still ranked him like 8th. I should have just gone with it and ranked him like 3rd or 4th. But he is there this year.
It's actually really funny, too. I mean, you were right, but at the same time, it wasn't like his numbers really improved. The only thing that improved was he jumped up in touchdust.
Yeah, so, that does it.
I mean, yeah, it does. But I mean, it's kind of funny. Like yards, the past. I mean, even if you go back 4 years, I'll just do the last 3 because they're so unbelievably similar. But 2015, he went 75 catches for 853 yards. Next year, 14 games, so one less game, but 78 receptions for 816. And then next year, 74 catches for 824. But the touchdowns went from 2 to 4 to 8. And once again, I think those numbers are something you can bank on. I think Wentz coming back, especially the type of offense they play, I think this guy is a no-brainer number 3. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I would hope that maybe even this year he could even jump that yardage up just a bit and really get into the talk of maybe that next tier.
Number 4 is Greg Olson, who we both ranked number 4. No surprise. I'm big on Olson this year. I just feel like there's one more really good year in him, I would say, with Cam Newton there. I love Olson for this year. And I think you can get him at a pretty decent price right now, the way it's been going. So I think he's good value. I mean, we both think the same exact thing here. No surprise.
And last year was the fluke, so I don't want anyone to... This is the reason he's ranked so high. Yeah. Last year was the fluke of him getting hurt. From 2008 to 2016, he played every single game. Every single one of them. And since 2012, he was ranked 6th, 7th, 4th, 2nd, and then last year he got hurt.
Yep.
So it just shows you him and Cam have a beautiful thing. Don't sleep on Olson. He really is worth the pick. I know, especially if you're newer to fantasy and all you saw was last year.
And then number 5, it's another player. We have the same number 5, Evan Engram. I've moved him back up.
I was going to say, I thought we were going to actually fight about him or Jimmy.
No, I moved him back up because I lowered Jimmy. So I'm souring on Jimmy Graham.
And I laughed because I was ready to have this argument with you. But this is the first place where I think if you wanted to go Jimmy or Evan Engram, I think either of them would be fine because I think they're both incredibly good. And I think they will be almost identical. So I wouldn't have an issue going either way. And it's hard to argue against Jimmy because he's been so productive. But once again, it's a new offense as well. So, but when he's healthy, he doesn't really dip below number 4.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Evan Engram has only been around for 1 year, and he's a special talent, I believe. Already has a very good rapport with Eli, so I like Evan Engram just a bit more.
Yeah, and it was really more of he moved up only because I started to dislike Jimmy Graham. It wasn't even as much as him. Jimmy Graham. He's going to be fine, but I wasn't as sold. So I went with Evan Engram. And yeah, how many rookie tight ends really have the kind of seasons that he did? It just doesn't happen. So when it does happen, you got to think, okay, he should be pretty good. It's probably going to continue, I would say.
Yeah.
So,
and the last thing I'll say about Jimmy Graham, the reason he also dipped below Evan Engram for myself is last year he caught 10 touchdowns and he only had 520 yards. I mean, he was targeted 96 times, and that's from Russell Wilson. So it's not like some bum quarterback. So I'm hoping not, but I'm also a little worried that we are seeing the regression perhaps because those numbers are not they're just not Jimmy Graham, and he played a full season. It was a huge drop off in yards. So
I'm a little worried. I don't even know if I should have him ranked where I do.
I do think that he can in Green Bay. I think he will be buoyed by touchdowns. I do think he'll catch quite a few. But I don't know if the yardage will jump up, and he will have to jump that yardage up if he wants to compete with the guys above him.
Yep. He was number 6, Jimmy Graham for both of us. So I might rank him lower though.
I don't know because but I don't like this guy. Like I'm assuming. Well, who's next?
Well, it's a tie.
Okay, is Delaney one of them?
Delaney is one of them. Who is not my number 7? He's your number 7. Yes. He's not my number 7.
When you said you were going to put Jimmy lower, I was like, "There's no possible way you're going to put Delaney Walker over him."
I have Kyle Rudolph number 7.
Okay,
who is your number 8?
Yes.
So we got them tied up. I'm starting to like Kyle Rudolph a little more, and I think it's just because I'm starting to fall in love with Minnesota.
I like Kyle Rudolph, but I think that there's so many mouths to feed that his numbers won't jump up because I mean Diggs, Dalen, Cook. Whew, I mean, those guys enough.
I guess.
I mean, more than last year, right?
Thielen, is he that good? Is he going to fall off?
I don't think so. Okay, I was like, Thielen is really good.
No, he's not. So, yeah, I like Rudolph, though. I do. But he's just solid here. I guess, again, I put him up ahead of Delaney because I'm not the biggest Delaney Walker fan. I'm just not. But he's obviously, Tennessee still believes in him. He's still going to do well this year. And no denying that.
And this is what I get to. I mean, you will be able to throw Deion Lewis a little bit, obviously.
Yep.
And Corey Davis, we both believe that he's going to be good.
Yep.
But Delaney Walker is probably going to be the second guy in targets. And that's why I like him more than Rudolph.
Yeah. I mean, I get that a little bit, but I like Rudolph more. I just couldn't do it. I I couldn't pull it to Delaney Walker that high when I've been so against him for so long.
That's fair.
So
that's fair.
That's the only reason. I guess that's part of my reasoning. So that's 7 and 8. And so far, we're pretty much just dead on consensus, and we did not try to be. Consensus at this point was Gronk 1, Kelce 2, Ertz 3, Olson 4, Engram 5, Graham 6, Walker 7, Kyle Rudolph 8.
Oh my gosh.
And we did not try at all to do that. This is not something we were planning on. Number 9's Trey Burton for us. Both of our number 9s. Consensus number 9. So we stayed right there.
All right. Yeah. And he's all upside, right? We don't really know what you have yet.
Yeah. It's like, this is like a tier break for me. He's like not the tier above, but he's actually kind of almost the tier ahead of these next guys because I feel like there's question marks all below him. So it's almost like he's one to himself in a weird way. And this is completely just guesswork with Trey Burton. We think, Chicago paid him to give him the job. We think the offense is going to be improved. We think he's going to be good. This is complete guess. Though.
Yeah. We
100%.
think that he can be a good catching tight end.
We don't know. we have no idea. We're just completely guessing.
You have a young offense as well, led by Trubisky. So, you know what I mean? Who knows?
We don't, and this is just kind of guesswork. And I believe it'll work out. But then again, you're not risking anything by doing it.
No,
especially at tight end.
Yeah, you're safe here.
The next player on our list, number 10, is actually going to be Jordan Reed.
I wasn't sure how far Jordan Reed was going to fall because I really took a long time and he and hawed over this one.
And you did put him 10th.
I did, yeah.
Yep. And for me, he was actually 11th, so not far off, just 11th. Not crazy, but this is where there's all kinds of potential though. If anybody's going to become a breakout player, if he's healthy, he's going to be great, and he's going to be a steal. Whoever gets him, that's the thing here. And I don't think you're risking much now for even at the 10th spot. You're not risking much for Jordan Reed.
Yeah, he's another one, kind of like Gronk. He doesn't even need a full season to be worthwhile. 2015, he played 14 games, was 3rd overall in tight ends. 2016, he played 12, and he was still ranked in the top 10. He was number 9.
Yep.
And once again, you saw how well Kelce and Alex Smith did, right? And now the fact that Alex Smith is in town, he knows how to use a tight end really well. Everything kind of lines up for it.
Yep.
If he was more reliable, which he's never played a full season, he's never played more than 14 games, and last year he only played 6. If he was more reliable, he would be a top 7 for sure, and he might even be above like Jimmy Graham, say, or Evan Engram.
Yeah, definitely he would be 100%. Yeah. It's just you can't trust health with him ever. But I'm going to probably take the risk on a few spots this year.
I would here, and truly, I would take the risk on him right here.
I think I'm going to. I think he's going to end up on a few of my teams just because of, why not? I think he's definitely worth it. So, again, because tight end, I'm not too worried about. If you're getting a player, if you're drafting at this spot, if you're waiting on tight end, why not wait for the tight end that could have the huge potential, who we know is a good player? Unless if you the mindset of wanting to get one of the ones early, then it's different. I just don't like paying for that.
I typically don't, but I like a peace of mind. So if you could really get one of those and you have a team that allows you to, or you have some extra cash whatever it may be, I would love to have Kelce and just plug and play every week.
That's true. Great. I did have Kelce last year, and
that's true. What are you talking about?
It was wonderful. It was a very relaxing experience. Right. You didn't have to think about it. You just throw him in the lineup, and you count on your points.
So it was that. I guess I was in our main league.
Yeah, we didn't plan on doing it.
No, but was that just because you thought he went for undervalue?
Yeah, that's the thing. It was good value. That's why. Draft strategy is going to change when you're in the draft. I didn't plan on spending anything for a tight end, but I saw value. I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to do this. So I picked him up. And so, hey, that could happen again. You never know. Number 11 is going to be George Kittle. My 10th, your 12th. And it's more of the fact that, if Jimmy Garoppolo is a good quarterback, which we all think he is going to be throwing the ball to Garcon and Goodwin, who are fine. But I think George Kittle's going to step up and take a lot of these catches. I think he showed some signs last year that he could be pretty solid. I'm starting to come around on George Kittle and move him up my board a little bit.
Yeah, I like his potential. It's very, very difficult, though, because I'm not as high on San Francisco as a lot of people are. But he did show a lot of good signs. He had 500 yards as a rookie last year in an offense that wasn't very good. So you would think that he would take the next step. That would put him in line with, potentially being a top 10 guy, then at the end of that, I mean, he would have the kind of numbers that would put him in the discussion at least.
Yep. I think that's very possible. I mean, I'm not huge on Garoppolo right now because of the weapons, but Kittle should be good. At this level, he should be pretty solid. But I did put him ahead of some other guys here. I did put him ahead of Reed and a couple of the next two guys coming up who have probably more potential upside than Kittle, but I figured he's the last maybe safe kind of guy there, so I picked him. Number 12, I say, is the next guy who you have higher than Kittle. I don't, but it's O.J. Howard.
Yeah.
My 13th, your 11th, and it's just pretty much we expect him to be good. He wasn't really last year. He showed a couple signs. Rookie tight ends don't break out. It doesn't usually happen. I mean, the Gronk type players are very rare. Evan Engram is very rare. He really is for what he did last year. And don't expect it from O.J. Howard last year, but it could happen this year. So that's one of those players I might take a chance on, but depends on how much your risk is.
Yeah. And and that's really what it came down to when you're talking about Kittle or O.J. Howard for me. I think Kittle may be a little safer, but because last year he got many more catches, targeted more, but he had about 500 yards, and O.J. Howard had 430 with, I don't have it right in front of me, but almost half the amount of receptions. He had 26, and he caught 6 touchdowns in that time. I think he's a big play tight end on a team that desperately needs it on the, outside of Mike Evans. So that's why I think that O.J. Howard has a chance to really break out this year. And, he's outside my top 10, but if I was going to take a chance on someone, it's O.J. Howard.
And people worry because they re-signed Cameron Brate, but I don't worry about that because if O.J. Howard's good and he proves himself, that's not going to matter that they re-signed a guy.
No, and you can have multiple tight ends and use them both. You saw it even last year. I mean, Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard both did, fine as far as tight ends go. But yeah, they're definitely going to want to use O.J. Howard. He's just a superior athlete to Cameron Brate. But,
100%.
Yeah.
And Cameron Brate doesn't even register in the debate there between the two. He's ranked for me here, but it just doesn't. O.J. Howard, the potential is just out of the world. If he's good, there's just no chance. They're not going to care about Cameron Brate anymore. So I don't like that argument. 13. It's a guy who's gone down for us, Tyler Eifert. 15th for you. He's now 12th for me. I just don't see a lot of terribly great signs that he's healthy, and it worries me. So I kind of keep dropping him because of it. That's again, though, there's some big potential here. It's just when is Tyler Eifert? When can he stay healthy?
Oh my, yeah. I mean,
and he's so touchdown dependent.
Yeah, but you talk about Jordan Reed. This is another guy that if you could predict his health, you'd be, you'd be amazing. You'd be loving life. But this is the kind of injuries that he's had all his career. Rookie season when, he really wasn't much of a name. He was just getting into it. Played 15 games and everyone's like, this is awesome. Next year, played 1 game. Then 13, everyone got really excited. He caught 13 touchdowns in 13 games. And everyone lost their freaking mind.
Yep.
Next year, played 8 games. And then next year, they were like, okay, maybe he'll come back. Watch this guy. 2 games. I mean, I don't know. When I honestly look at this guy, and I think that, unfortunately, I just think his body's not going to hold up, and his career might be relatively short. And you see someone that could be possibly the best red zone tight end in the game, and you're just never going to figure out if he is or not.
No, it's I just don't know if he's going to stay healthy, but I kind of like the risk because I'm gonna wait on tight end. That's what I do. I think I kind of like it.
I think as long as you don't mind getting 2 tight ends, some people, depending on how it's set up, don't. But you can get another. The question is, who would you pair him with? Because you have to get someone relatively safe, right? Because would you actually go for a Kittle, O.J. Howard, this guy late? Or would you go for
I might just get Eifert if he doesn't make it, if he doesn't play, and he's hurt, to pick up somebody next that's on the waivers like Ricky Seals-Jones. That kind of, if he can do something. I don't know.
They just run out so quickly.
I know
some people, a little scary.
Some people don't like to do the whole tight end thing. Like I've done that so many times. I pick a new one every week. It is risky. It's a little more risky. I get it.
And how many? I mean, and that's the scary part too. Is like tight ends run out real quick.
Yeah.
Like we're about to go through 20 or whatever, and I guarantee we're going to get to people who are like, I like them, but I don't know if they're going to catch more than 25 balls. Like,
yep. We'll get some of these real quick because it's starting to get ugly now. Like the 14's Jack Doyle, 14 for both of us. Not excited about Jack Doyle, but he's safe.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably.
what was he? He was like 12th last year, being the only guy in town. And Luck is back. That's awesome. But Eric Ebron's there now, too. And no, but I think it'll take away time.
Eric Ebron doesn't register on anybody's radar.
I think it hurts both of their stock, to be honest.
No, Eric Ebron's terrible. He's a brutal player. It's terrible. 15.
Where do you have Eric? I know he's not going to show up on our, or maybe he will.
Number 15. We might talk about that later. David Njoku, your 13th, my 15th. This is, again, another one of those potential. He could be really good. And if you want to take a chance and potentially get a tight end that breaks out, get Njoku here. 16, Cameron Brate. 18th for you, 16th for me. Like we said, O.J. Howard's probably going to overtake him. But there's no guarantee in that. Maybe O.J. Howard doesn't do what he should, and then Cameron Brate becomes much more valuable. So
yes. And both of them are going to be in the top 20 because they will end up be there no matter what, pretty much. 17, Ricky Seals-Jones, 16th for you, 20th for me. Again, this is just more potential. We liked what we saw in limited time last year. There's really no one else there. Exactly. They got to throw the ball to somebody in Arizona. Can't just be Fitzgerald and David Johnson catching every ball, or maybe it could. It's possible. Maybe. And Christian Kirk. 18, Austin Hooper, 19th for you, 18th for me. Again, this is another guy that we just like the potential. Every year, man. Think it's to be something. This is... I guess what's happening down here is just potential. And number 19, Eric Ebron. He does actually. Hold it. Yes. You have him ranked higher than me. Let's just. Where's he ranked with you? 17th. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this. I know. As much as I really thought you were going to have him like ranked 30th out of spite. No, because I think what's going to happen is he's all of a sudden going to be good. He could be. And he's just going to piss me off even more. That's what's going to happen. Number 20, Mike Gesicki. How do you say his name? I think you're about right. Gesicki. 17th for you, 21st for me. Got some hype going on right now. I just don't like to buy into the rookie hype too much. I don't either. I kind of said this about Njoku last year, so but ranking him here would be still safe because that's about where Njoku ended. But he is a pass catching tight end that they're going to use as a wide receiver because you look at their wide receivers and they lack. I mean, you don't have that go-to guy. So I think he can come out and produce. He's going to be an interesting one. But, like I said, rookie tight ends are impossible. They usually don't produce right away. But I think he will catch a few touchdowns, which will make him a fly-by-night guy. Yeah, I just don't care about rookie tight ends. So I think there's too much hype on him. But again, why not? Take a chance if you want. That's about it. The rest, Austin Seferian-Jenkins is our next on our list. That could be interesting, but Charles Clay, Jared Cook, Hayden Hurst, Vance McDonald. Speaking of rookie tight ends, though, I do think Hayden Hurst is an interesting one. Could be, because they don't have as many people to throw the ball to there. He's older. They kind of... Yep, that's true. Every time they have a healthy tight end, he was the first tight end picked this year, wasn't he? And his, what is he, like 25? Something ridiculous. He might actually cut down on the learning curve. That's very true. But all right, I think it's going to do it for tight ends, and that's going to do it for our rankings episodes. It's going to be it. Rankings episodes are done. We'll keep our rankings updated, though. Just go check our website, fantasyfootballprophet.com. So as changes happen throughout the preseason, we'll definitely update them there. And then in a couple weeks, we'll do like a trending up, trending down episode where we'll talk about some of the guys that might be moving up our ranks, moving down our ranks. So if you want to get that, just keep checking out the website. You'll get all the updated ranks, and we will talk to you guys next week.